Welcome, Eric. I guess we should be throwing you 3 of these album release parties, or do you feel like that's too much?
That's probably too much, but it's just good to be back and putting music out there and getting to play shows again. I mean, it's been a weird and not great, 15 months. So it's just great to be back, and I can't wait to get all 3 projects out there.
Did you feel like you needed a break, or, do you hate that you just were at home the last 15 months, except for your stint when you went to the mountains and were recording?
Right. I mean, if I felt like I needed a break, I've recalibrated that after COVID. But I think with this project, and I love I love the Desperate Man project. I've said that many times, but that was the hardest record I've ever made because I feel like that myself and the band rolled up in the studio, and it was time to make a record, and that hunger. That band that I identified with early on, that hunger was gone a little bit, and it was time to make a record. And we had just played for arenas that were full, and that bothered me a little bit. And it was the hardest record I've made. So when making this project, you have 2 options. You can get rid of the producer and try something new, which Jay Joyce and I get along very well together, or you can try a different program. And my program was, let's put Jay Joyce, myself, the band, the writers, in an environment that they've never been in before. And that's act 1, to make them uncomfortable, right? Act 2, let's write a song the same day we record that song. And that is the most gnarly thing you can do. And I honestly thought it could have been an unmitigated disaster. That's what I thought this could be. And what I learned is it started to become, there's something happening here. And I think that when you get in that moment where creativity takes the lead, you win. And that's the genesis and the revelation of this project. And I couldn't be prouder of it.
You talk about getting people uncomfortable and creatively what that does for you and for them. Like, what was the goal? What did you, maybe not exactly what you expected, but what did you feel was going to come from putting people in a slightly uncomfortable environment to create?
Well, I think the number one thing, Bobby, is everybody, when you get in the studio, it's like a lot of us. And I remember the guitar player said to me that we brought in, he goes, "Do you think this is the right guitar part?" And I said, "I have no idea, because this song is 4 hours old. It's a brand new baby. I have no clue." And I love that we discovered that together, And I think that that was the greatest thing about this whole thing, is the discovery of the creative process.
He's Eric Church, and I'm Bobby Bones. We're celebrating his new album trilogy, Heart and Soul, on the iHeartCountry album release party. You rented out an old restaurant in North Carolina, and then you set up like a makeshift studio. You moved the tables out. You kind of did all that there. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the first day was a total disaster because, it was my idea to bring it into a restaurant I had been to many times. We have a summer house there, and I take my family there, and it's got reclaimed like barn wood kind of deal. And I thought this would be a great studio. And the first day Jay was there, my producer, Jay Joyce, we set the drums up in the main room, and it was a disaster. He goes, "The drums can't stay here. We have to figure something out." But the great thing about Jay, and the reason I think this project works, is he was not in his normal environment. He had to figure out how to make the drums work, and I had to figure out how to write a song a day, and the guitar player had to figure out how to do something different. So I think this whole thing was about trying to make people be not what they are every day.
You brought new people in and out. Did you have a certain schedule for that? Every week, every 2 weeks? Did people go and come and then go and come again?
I started with Casey Bether. I mean, Casey Bether's my rock. He's the guy that he's the greatest guy I've ever sat across from. A big mentor of mine. So I used him as the main guy. And he came into this project, Bobby, as you know, with a real tragedy in his life. He lost a kid who was killed in a bar incident, and it was in December, and we were about to go and do this in January. So I put everything on hold at that point in time because Casey was my guy on that, and I said, "Hey man, I'll move I'll move whatever you need to move," and he showed up, and I've never been more inspired by his faith and by his devotion and by his commitment to craft as I was. It's the most inspiring thing I've ever seen, and he's the MVP of this entire project.
I do in a second want to play Hell of a View that you wrote with Casey and Monty Criswell. In the whole process, and it's going to be hard because you're doing one song after another, but if you're breaking this thing up into fractions, like what point did you guys write Hell of a View, or do you even remember anymore?
I do have a memory on that, but I don't have a memory on a lot of the other ones. But I remember halfway through this project, Jay Joyce, we took a break where we gave everybody 2 days off. And Jay said, "Hey, let's listen back to this." And I remember walking in the studio. He goes, "You need to hear this." And my first thought was, this sucks, right? and Jay goes, "No, it's good." I said, "Really?" He's, "Yeah, sit down." So he played me Heart on Fire. He played me Hell of a View. He played me Crazy Land. He played me Where I Want to Be. And I started going, okay, I forgot every song. So I'm listening as a fan listens. I'm not listening as a guy who's listened to it 100 times. These are brand new songs. So I got to experience the record the way I think fans will experience the record.
Before we get into it, one other question. You performed this song at the CMA Awards the night you won Entertainer of the Year. Why did you pick this song specifically to showcase on that night?
I just thought it kind of, mainly with Casey, and it paid homage to, where I think this project is. I mean, it's not, there's going to be some songs that go to the top of the charts in radio, and there's going to be a lot that don't. But I think overall with the project, you need to see what the theme is. And I think this song adds itself to what the theme is.